If you're anything like me when I started, you're probably pretty confused as to how you go about getting your podcast on all the directories and in front of all of your potential listeners, and how podcast distribution actually works. So after running my show for nearly 2 years and making a ton of mistakes along the way, I now have a decent understanding of how all this works, and I'm going to lay it out for you in this video. So let's explain podcast distribution, podcast directories, RSS feeds, and all the other fun stuff that goes into getting your podcast in front of your listeners. So let's talk about it. Let's do it up. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Ben. I release weekly videos on this channel to help you level up your business and presence online using social media and podcasts. And I drop a ton of videos helping you level up your podcast. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so that you never miss a future upload. So as mentioned, I do run my own show. It's called Project Passion. I'm the host of that show. And throughout running it for the past 2 years, I made a ton of mistakes that led to a lot of learning. So I now have a solid grasp as to how this thing works. So the best place to start is likely directories. This is where your show is going to be actually consumed by the end user. So this is what the average consumer of a podcast will see. And it's only possible because of the things I'm going to highlight later in the video, but the podcast directories is how your end consumer consumes it. So it's super, super critical. Some examples of major podcast directories are Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and a bunch more. All of these are different players where people can go on and consume different shows. So obviously to maximize exposure, you want to be on all these directories to make it as convenient as possible for anybody to come across your show and listen to it. So simply by hearing all those names, it can seem pretty overwhelming, but it's actually quite simple and quite easy to do for yourself. So how you're able to have a show and have it simultaneously on many different directories at the same time is through something called an RSS feed. So for anybody who cares, I looked up what RSS stands for with an RSS feed, and I got really simple syndication and rich site summary. And what this RSS feed does is allows the content to speak with all the directories and allow it to update live and in real time. So your RSS feed is what makes it so easy for you to manage your show and have it on a ton of different directories at the same time without additional work for you once it's listed in those directories. The way I like to think about it is the RSS feed is like your hub. So once you put things on here, the hub then delivers the information to the different directories. The directories check in on the RSS feed every so often to ensure that it has the most accurate and up-to-date information that's being played and distributed through that feed. So this is how you're able to change your content and the description of your content and your show in general and all things associated with it at one time, and it changes across all of the different directories. So it's kind of like a working document that allows you a lot of flexibility to do a bunch of things across a bunch of directories at once. So the next question you likely have is, how do I get an RSS feed for my show? Great question. And this is where podcast hosts come into play. So your podcast host is what's going to allow you to, as it sounds, host your show and create that RSS feed that will make it incredibly easy to get your show across all the different directories that you want. I made an entire dedicated video on my favorite host, which I just linked in the card above. Go check that out after you've watched this video to help you make the right decision for you and your show. For the sake of this video, I'm going to walk you through how easy Buzzsprout makes it to get your show up, started, and distributed to all the different podcast directories right from Buzzsprout. So we're going to hop into my computer, as this is the host that I use, and I love them because their ease of use is amazing. It's probably the easiest podcast host out there to use. So we're going to walk in and we're going to create a hypothetical show for this video so you can see exactly how you can do it. Let's do it. All right, so we're into Buzzsprout now. This is what you see because I already have a show, which you can see right here, Project Passion. Go check that out if you haven't already. Obviously, I've set this already up for myself, but for the sake of this video and this example, I'm going to show you what it would be like if you were starting a brand new show. So as you can see right here, create a brand new podcast. This is if you want to create an entirely new podcast, which will have the following: its own episodes and allowance of hours. So that's how much content you can put on the host, depending on your plan. Its own RSS feed, which we mentioned earlier. And the awesome thing about Buzzsprout is that you have full control of that RSS feed. So you are the sole owner and operator of that RSS feed. They provide that for you and make it very easy to maneuver and change. So if you did ever want to change hosts or anything like that, they make it very, very easy for you, very easy to work with. And then its own billing plan. So obviously there's different varying plans here. So you do have the free option, which I always recommend if you have no budget. start with the free 90-day plan, see if you like it, if you're going to use it, and then upgrade accordingly once you've seen that you like the product. I love the fact that they give you this option because they allow you to get your hands on it and see how easy it really is. And the majority of people that I sign up on the free plan, they typically upgrade to a paid plan after they've used it. So we're going to start off, and no risk, cancel anytime, start with the free plan. So we're going to call this podcast RSS feeds and stuff. Okay, create new podcast. Look at that, RSS feeds already right there. So we need to upload an episode. So upload an episode, drag and drop a file. So we're gonna go and we're just gonna upload an episode that I have coming out on my podcast. So let's put my episode with Tom Blake that's coming out soon. We'll drop it into here. And then this is how easy they make it. So we're uploading the episode. It's happening in real time. And then we'll call this Tom Blake test episode. And then you would include the description of the show. You would use the thumbnail, or episode artwork, so you can use whatever your channel or your podcast artwork already is by default, or you can choose custom artwork, and then you can designate it by season and episode, and then the episode type, full, trailer, bonus, etc. And then explicit content. This is important. If you do have any explicit content, be sure to click this off because some of the directories are not a fan if you don't do that. So we're going to click that. It's now been uploaded. Awesome. So we are going to save episode details. Okay, so that's now processing, but here's the explanation for the RSS feed. So come to directories. This is how easy they make it. So you currently have no live episodes because the one's uploading, but honestly, getting listed on all of these is as simple as following these different steps right here. So they make it super easy within Buzzsprout. So you just click on one and then it shows you all of the credentials that you need. And then you go through and click all of this. They make it super easy. They give you step-by-step instructions. So you could bang all these out in a day or under a day, like an hour or two, and it can be listed everywhere. Some of them do have time periods. Like for example, Apple Podcasts actually reviews your submission with a human being. So that obviously takes some time to get done. So be patient with the stuff, but you can get them all sent out and then wait to hear back. So here's how to get onto Spotify. It's that simple. And then here's the other ones: Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn, Alexa, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Deezer, Listen Notes, etc. And you can do this all right from Buzzsprout because they give you that RSS feed and they want you to find success, because if you don't have success, you're not going to remain with them and they don't run their business. So they do everything they can to help you and they make it super easy to get your show out there. So this is how easy it is to get an RSS feed created and your show distributed to the different directories. We did this in a few minutes and it's literally that simple. Obviously, you're going to put more time into it, customizing it and tailoring it to your show, but it is that easy. If after watching this, you're already sold and you want to go try out Buzzsprout, be sure to use my link in the description box. It'll get you a free $20 Amazon gift card when you sign up for one of their paid plans. For full disclosure, it is an affiliate link. I am one of their affiliates and one of their partners, but it is a service that I completely believe in. I use myself, and you get a free $20 Amazon gift card for it, so everybody wins.
The important difference here is with win-win-win, we all win.
As podcasters, we obviously love to talk, and we love to talk about our show, so I'd love to hear about your show. Let me know the name of it and some details in the comment section down below. I'd love to see what you guys are up to. So I hope this video helped you to understand how podcast distribution works, how the different podcast directories work, and how you can get your show in front of your listeners. If it did, please take 2 seconds, smash the like button. Helps me out a lot, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you. If you're just getting started, I linked my beginner's podcast checklist in the pinned comment. Go check that out, download it. Gives you a very easy to follow guideline to ensure you have everything you need to run a successful show. Completely free. Go check it out. So if you're looking for some more information on the different podcast hosts that are out there to help you make the right decision, check out this video. And if you're looking for some advice on how to best monetize off of your podcast, check out the other video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great, great day. Go crush it with your podcast. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have an awesome day. Peace.